feel like sometimes in the day there's not enough time to get everything you want to do and everything you need to do. How have you balanced that out?
As far as balancing, I try to like prioritize like the top 2 or 3 things that are most important. Like he goes, "Can you turn this to a gym?" And I looked around. I said, "Yeah, I could turn this into a gym."
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We're going to dive right in. Our guest today is none other than Adam Feeney, owner, founder, Club Fitness here in Irmo, South Carolina. Little backstory. We don't personally know Adam. We got a letter in the mail with his new gym, promoting his new gym opening up, and I decided to check it out. I actually joined as a member. Love the gym, 24 hours a day if you're in the Irmo area.
Appreciate
Check it out. Hugo's gone. He's actually contemplating it. We've little backstory. He used to be a long distance runner, and he's kind of putting that in the past and getting more into lifting. And one of his goals is putting mass on. So told him to check it out. But we have Adam. I'm your host, Renee. We got Hugo today. Jose behind the lens. We'll dive right in. Adam, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do. I guess one thing we all have in common is we're here in Irmo. Our business is right across the street from each other.
Pretty sweet.
Kind of cool. And were you always from here? You're from the area? Are you local?
Sort of. So I was born in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida.
Okay. Oh.
So, yeah, I'm a beach boy, man.
Indian Rocks.
Yeah, down there.
Seminole, Clearwater.
Yeah, right by Clearwater, below Tampa. Yeah, so I
St. Pete.
was born there, lived there. About 30 minutes from St. Pete.
Yeah.
Still got family there, my dad's brother and sister and their kids.
Okay.
Moved from there to South Carolina. Moved from South Carolina when I was 5 to Puerto Rico for about 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And then we moved back to Florida for about 2-3 years to Orlando, and then moved back to South Carolina around 5th grade. Went to school here, middle school, Irmo High School. Went to the business school at USC.
Okay.
When I was there, I was actually in spring break. True story. And I was in Key West, Key Marathon. A buddy of mine was a backup fullback for USC at the time, for the Gamecocks. And he walked on, became the backup. And he said, "Have you heard about the USC competition?" I said, "No." So they have a USC bodybuilding and fitness competition for the whole college, 30-something thousand people at the time. I said, "No." I said, "That sounds pretty cool." So I looked it up, and a year later I competed in that competition, and I won my division, and I won the overall.
Yeah.
So I was Mr. USC in South Carolina.
Nice, man.
And that was literally just us having a drink, spring break with my buddy, having to be the fullback at USC. But anyway, I graduated from USC and lived here for a little bit in Irmo. Moved to Florida, lived in Jupiter, kind of North Palm Beach area.
Yeah.
Ended up coming back here to Irmo. I've always had the house here and have my family here, my little sister, my mom and stepdad, and stepsister and nephews and nieces. Well, anyway, we had the opportunity to get Anchor Lanes, to purchase Anchor Lanes, and then for me to use a part of it for my gym, which we had tried to do before. And so it just kind of all worked out.
Perfect timing?
Yeah.
Okay. And so South Carolina was kind of always in the picture for you. And you say you joined that competition. Was it, were you always into fitness, lifting? I'm guessing you just don't get into raw dogging and kind of like see how it goes.
Well, I'll tell you a true story on that. So my dad, he was a really, really good athlete. And so he was, Clearwater High School, which was the biggest division in the state in Florida at the time. This is like 1970, somewhere around there. And he had D1 offers for football and baseball.
Okay.
He didn't take them. He went and tried out for the Reds and was the first person to make it.
Okay.
He goes, "I'm not joining." He goes, "I just want to see if I can make it."
Yeah.
And he joined the Air Force because he wanted to be an air traffic controller.
Okay.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
And so the reason I tell you that is because we moved to Puerto Rico when Bill Clinton was president. in the 90s, early 90s.
Military?
Yeah.
Okay, your dad was...
So he did the Air Force for 4 years, got out, became an air traffic controller for the FAA. And see, when you work for the FAA, it's a federal quasi-organization. So it's part government, it's part private. They do that because they don't want any influence on these controllers, these air traffic controllers, because it's such a
kind of independently
serious,
ran.
and a very high stressful job.
Yeah.
And so they do that, for really the American people.
Because I know anytime there's any aviation incident, the first person that they call is the FAA now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to investigate. And
they don't mess. I think it's normally like top 3 most stressful job in the country. And so, it's pretty serious. Can't make any mistakes. But Bill Clinton, that administration was offering promotions for people to move to Puerto Rico at the time.
Okay.
So, because even though Puerto Rico is not a state, it's kind of like a Commonwealth. Like they still get citizenship, but they remain as Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
So they retain their independence, and so anyway, so my dad took the promotion and we moved out there. Lived in this little place called Cocoa Beach. We could walk to the beach in this little neighborhood. We didn't live on the base, the American side. We lived on the Puerto Rican side.
Okay.
So he would drive to base to control the tower and the air traffic control. So anyway, when I was out there, I used to go with my dad to this gym. And this was the biggest gym I've ever seen in my life, like to this day. It was huge. It had like 12 racquetball courts. It had indoor, huge, full basketball stadium. Whoa. It had the Navy SEALs would train there. You had 2 pools that were 20 foot deep.
Oh, shit.
And I mean, the locker rooms were huge. Like everything was just, this is the military base.
And this was on the base or outside of the base?
Well, this was outside of the base, but it was on what they called like, the American side of Puerto Rico, where a lot of the military would live and whatnot. So anyway, we'd go there, and I was always like, man, I can't wait to work out. I can't wait to work. I'd see all these military guys, just jacked, Yeah. And I was like, oh, you're too young. You're too young. So I'd play racquetball. I'd swim. I'd do all that kind of stuff. I was like 5 to 8.5. But I'd always wanted to. And then once I got old enough, my dad bought me a weight rack for the house. Uh-huh. And then once I got to be... So I was like around 13. I think once I was a freshman in high school, he got me a membership at New Life Fitness World in Irmo. Yeah. And that was my first membership, and I couldn't wait to work out. And so it's like...
Was that a Gold's back then, or was it a move?
No, that was just a New Life Fitness World.
Oh, there used to be one here in Irmo.
It was a top 10 gym in the country at one point.
Oh, yeah. They used to have the one on Tuna.
Yes.
Hard Scrabble.
Yes.
I remember signing up for that when I was.
It was
like
awesome,
13.
man.
Yeah.
It was they had a cold room. No one else has it. I mean, it was just top of the line. And
the cold room. Yeah, it's like a big fridge.
Yeah,
you walk down the stairs and just sit in the cooler. Yeah.
That's what I want to do at my gym because it's really not hard to add that. It's just a room and putting pipes in there.
Yeah, I remember that vibe was like Miami Vice.
Was it not?
Like, it had the pink neon lights. Yeah, and like
they had the bar.
That's the first time I saw an indoor track too upstairs.
Yeah.
Man, it was top of the line. So it was like I really got into the whole weightlifting.
What happened
because of my dad? And and then growing up, I was always watching Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all those movies, and when you want to get big and jacked. Yeah. But so what happened in New Life? So the owner's son is a buddy of mine, Jay Jung. His dad, Master Jung, is one of the only people in the world to be a master in this certain type of Korean martial arts. So he used to teach classes there. At one time, it was top 10 gym in the country. He ended up having 5 of them. It's top of the line. Well, anyway, he ended up selling those. And his son had come to help him out. And his son had already got off on his own with a real nice gym in Charlotte and sold it. Then his son opened the gym called City Athletic Club in Vegas. He sold that a few years ago. But Forbes named that, and him, the youngest, hottest gym developer in the country under 40 at the time. Whoa. And they gave him the Condé Nast 5-star award, which only like really nice hotels get. And so like all the celebrities would go out there, like all the Mr. Olympia, Miss Olympia competitors, Jay Cutler, Ice-T, all these people would go to that gym. Yeah. And that was the gym. And so he's already opened, it's not open yet, but he's already built a new gym in Vegas. And it's actually where I got my idea from. He's pre-sold it to 1,000 members. And it's already sold out. And it's top of the line, like, looks like this, just like what you're talking about, the vibe. Yeah. Real Miami kind of Asian, top of the line, 5-star hotel looking gym.
Yeah.
And so
nice amenities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his dad, I haven't seen him in maybe 10 years, but his dad's probably in his 80s now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's probably somewhere around there, but he ended up selling all of them. True story, we tried to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So we go in there, and this is like prime location, I don't know, 3 acres, 26,000 square foot building, something like that, 2 stories, a Olympic-sized swimming pool, huge locker rooms. I mean, nice private lockers, showers.
Now where was this one at? The one you're
Irmo,
talking-
right
here
down
in
the
Irmo?
road. Yeah, right across from Crossroads Middle School, right near the high school. It's a church. It's the church bought it. And so what happened is it had like just top. I mean, upstairs you had offices, you had a barber shop, you had all this stuff. You had downstairs you had the bar and restaurant, you had the fireplace.
Yeah.
The 2 racquetball courts. You had huge sauna, hot tub, steam room, the outdoor track, the indoor track.
Yeah.
And it had still a ton of members. It had all the equipment. Had 3,200 members. So I did all. I graduated from USC with accounting and finance. So I did all the spreadsheets and the pro formas, and I did it out like 3 to 5 years. Like
ran all the numbers.
Yeah. Worst case, best case, median case scenario. I said, man, median case, we're gonna pay this thing off, the investment, and make money in the first year. So this has got 3,200 members. They don't want to leave. We still got a lot of equipment, and we had gotten into a preliminary deal with the bank. Well, when the bank officially got it from Jay Jung's dad, Master Jung, they increased the price. So I'll just tell you so the numbers make sense. It was me, my stepdad, my stepbrother, and we had made an offer for like $775. And this is a commercial building. I had my buddy, my best friend Eddie Forrest, his dad Wade Forrest, who owned Southern Glass and Metal, did the Tennessee Titans Stadium, did the LSU Stadium, did the Strom, did hospitals downtown. He put in glass all across the country. Came in, looked at it, looked at the blueprints. He's like, man, everything's great here. It just needs a couple little, kind of facial work. But the bones are great. So anyway, the bank all of a sudden doesn't want to honor the first offer. And they say, now we're selling it for $1.2 million. And they did the same thing to the one in Lexington. They went from whatever their offer was 900 to like 1.4. And so those deals fell apart. So they said,
Slapped
we
on
had a deal,
35%.
we shook hands, we had a commercial real estate agent and everything. And so anyways, that fell apart. So it sat there for 2.5 years.
Great.
And so you got to think, it had new TVs, it had equipment, ended up selling that wholesale for next to nothing. Sat there, so then you're paying $50 to $100 grand a year in property tax, and then you got maintenance, something goes wrong with the AC pipes, whatever. You got people, you got to mow it every month. You got to, it's a lot of stuff you got to do.
Maintaining it.
Yeah.
3 acre commercial property.
Great location, and so anyway, they sell to the church right next door for $600,000.
No.
It's a true story. Church bought it, bulldozed that building, and made it a parking lot.
Tax free.
Tell me where you can buy a building, where you can build a 26,000 square foot building for $600 grand. Nowhere.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened, and we're still upset about that deal because we're like, this is a great opportunity. Yeah. And so that, fell through, and we have bowled at Anchor Lane since I was a kid. And my mom, my dad passed away in 2012, but he bowled there for years, bowled a 300 game. My stepdad, Scott, my dad's name's Brian Feeney. My stepdad's Scott Johnson. He's bowled there for years. Him and his kids and my mom, and he's bowled like 10 300 games. Well, the owner was wanting to sell it, but he didn't want it turned into a real estate, project like condos, apartments, whatever.
Get it redeveloped.
And it needed help, and he was kind of ready to get out and retire, and it used to be thriving, and it kind of went downhill. And this was kind of COVID too. And so I said, this could be a good opportunity. They talked. I did my analysis on what I think it's worth. And I told my mom and Scott. My mom's Missy Feeney. And Scott negotiated the whole deal, did a great job, bought Anchor Lanes. Him and his son, Dustin Johnson, and my mom, Missy Feeney. And they bought it during COVID. And it was still profitable during this. But there was a lot of problems with it. It smelled. It leaks. At the parking lot, you get a flat tire.
Yeah, kind of.
Just just if you thought about driving by, you might get a flat tire. I mean, it was pretty bad. But so anyway, they got a good deal and bought it, and developer came in and offered us like $500 over what we paid that same month, and it was right at my lowest valuation.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I did pretty good for just one person. And a lot of that, I guess, I got to credit to going to the Dartmore Business School, USC, with accounting and finance, because I just did what they taught me.
Yeah.
And then my mom and Scott turned that down, and it was during COVID, and so things were going to get better anyway.
Yeah.
But then we put a lot of work in there, and you had to hire people to do stuff you don't know how to do. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
But people didn't see also when we're there at 12, 1 o'clock at night on a Sunday with the family and some friends, and we're, cutting up the floor and cutting up bolts, and there's sparks flying everywhere, and, we're clearing this stuff out because we're putting new floor in and new couches. And so it's like, a lot of people don't see, you guys are business owners, so you understand. A lot of people don't see all that. They just see, you're doing great, must be nice.
No.
But you don't see all the hard work, all the stressful nights, all the risk and money, and in times you're like, you're thinking like, what?
Yeah, what I get myself into.
Is this gonna work out?
It's those late nights when you're in there doing the
Why am I working on Christmas?
the nitty gritty, getting some maintenance,
and you're trying to save money, and you're trying not, because you can find a lot of people that do good work, but then you also find people that don't. And if some people, unfortunately there's people out there that just try to get easy money and try to rip you off, and that's just the way it goes. It reminds me of Marshawn Lynch. He said, well, I know I'm going to get God. He goes, but I'm going to get mine more than I get God. I said, well, as long as you're up more than you're down, you know what I'm saying? Then you're still good. But I was like, man, I understand what he's saying. And so, we did that. We did a lot of work. And it's over the last, so we bought that in 2020. Like October, November. I think the deal closed in November, and we had a clause in there we couldn't sell it to a developer and have it developed. We don't want to do that anyway. We want to do this. We believe in this. We bowled here for years. My mom used to work there when I was a kid. She worked there when I was in college. Nice. When I was 10, 11, 12 years old, I used to power wash it with my dad. So I'd be outside, and power washing with my dad when I was a kid.
Some fond memories in there.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about that, and I'm like,
so
my gosh, now we
own
own
the facility from inside out.
Oh yeah. And it's pretty crazy because I'm like, we were working here and power washing it, and now we own the place, and it's like surreal. It's
full circle.
It's very appreciative, and it is for full circle, and it's crazy because I used to bowl there in a league for years with my little sister, and she's Adam Feeney. She's 17 months younger than me. We won the city tournament doubles 2 years in a row, and then back in the day, it was built in '89. A guy by the name of Dick Ames built it. And we used to go to church.
That was during Hurricane Hugo, '89.
Yeah. We used to go to church with him in the early '90s. And then, back then we were a young family. I was anywhere from the age of 1 to 5.
Yeah.
And my dad, was working a lot and had his side business. And it was my mom and my oldest sister, Erica, who's 7 years older than me. And then my 3 sisters that were our cousins that my mom and dad adopted, Ashley, Dawn, and Terry. And so it was 6 kids. My mom was too busy, obviously, to work, so my dad was working. And so, he had a good job, but it only goes so far. So it's like we didn't have a lot of money, back then. And but everything was great. My childhood was great. So I wouldn't change in that for anything, because then now you really appreciate it, as you get older. But yeah, so, like I said, we didn't have a whole lot of money, and Dick Ames would take us to breakfast after church.
Nice.
Yeah, or early lunch, whatever it was. And then years later, we ended up buying the building that he built, Yeah. And we actually, unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, and we all went to his funeral. And he was just a great guy. So it was kind of really surreal how, kind of like you say, it comes full circle.
Yeah.
With how it was and, what it is now. So it's been at times stressful.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
And it's because we grew up there, and it used to be packed all the time. And it was a community. You had all the leagues, you had birthday parties, and
Oh yeah.
all kinds of stuff. And now it's like that again. Everyone knows everybody. Everyone's helping out.
Yeah.
We had my mom and stepdad. They had their wedding reception there.
Yeah.
And
Oh
so we
yeah.
closed down the bowling alley the day
Oh,
before
nice.
Thanksgiving, 2023. We had that. They got married in Anchor Links Golf Simulator Bar and Lounge. Just us, 15 of us.
I feel like as a society we've strived away from places like that where you meet up, you have physical fun, and you socialize. Hugo and I have been living in Colombia since 01. So we moved from Mexico in 2001. We've been
no
here
way.
about 25 years. We
Okay.
were both born in Mexico.
Wow.
But I feel like when I got here, I mean, from the place I remember from my childhood, Red Wing Rollerway on Decker closed down.
The skate park?
Yeah.
And then the concrete pond.
We used to go on field trips there. I never learned how to skate, but I remember when my classmates had fun.
Yeah.
Pop-up fun center on Clemson Road.
Oh yeah, they demoed that place down.
Exit 80 off I-20 closed down. Frankie's, it's still up, but I feel
not like what it used to be.
Yeah, but
But a lot of bowling alleys have closed. The
Yeah.
concrete pond, they closed down. I mean, you're right. They got there's not much community places to go, and especially in Irmo.
yeah,
And so it's funny you say that because we did this magazine article in Irmo Shape and Life magazine, and we kind of went through the whole backstory of how we got Anchor and how the family and the roots and how my mom and stepdad didn't want to turn around and have it developed. They wanted to make it a thriving bowling alley again for the community and do something for the community. And, it really, really worked out. And I met with, by accident, the mayor of Irmo. And he's a great guy. So I went to this, it's a Steve Padgett's new Honda dealership. And it's this Optimist Club is what it is. And a friend of mine invited me there, and I met with them, and they introduced me and everything. And I met the mayor, Bill Danielson, there. And he got up and gave a speech and said, Adam, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I just want to say something. I said, that's fine. And he stood up, he goes, I want to thank you and your family, your mom and stepdad, for buying Anchor Lanes and reviving it and adding everything you've added, and the bar restaurant and the golf bar lounge and the TVs and the events, and doing this for the community.
Yeah.
We don't have much in Irmo, and this is great that there's a place for everyone to go.
Oh, yeah.
It's safe where people can have fun. I just want to thank you guys. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? So after that, I was like, I really like this guy. And so I invited him to the private opening, the grand opening for the gym, Club Fitness. And my mom got this bottle of Cristal champagne. I've never had Cristal in my life. I just seen it, the rap videos, especially in the early 2000s. Like, everyone had, I was like, oh, that's, this stuff must be good, or it's just overpriced. And then we got it. She was like, yeah, I got this to celebrate. So I told the mayor, I said, we got another couple bottles. I said, this is a good bottle. So I want you to have a glass of this with us, and we're going to do a toast, And it was my girl's birthday as well. And she was, I think 2 weeks later, we had my baby girl, Addison.
Oh, man.
So it's Emily's birthday. So all this is going on.
Grand opening.
Yeah, I got to give a speech that I didn't have anything performed for. Yeah, everything ready. They just give a speech in front of all these people. Cut the ribbon, and then pop the champagne bottle, and do a toast, and I give Mayor Bill, and some other people there. My mom, of course, my little sister, and anyway, we have that Cristal, and I'm like, man, this is good. Like, no wonder everyone's talking about this Cristal. So we had other people there, and they're like, I don't really like champagne. I was like, well, just have a little bit of the Cristal. And they're like, oh, man, that's the best champagne I've ever had. So I was like, now I see what everyone's talking about Cristal. I was like, I'd never had it before in my life, but my mom just got it, like, I guess to celebrate, because it took, I'm not going to lie, it took almost 3 years for me to open that gym. We ran into a lot of problems because we had to demo it from the ground up, add walls, plumbing, electrical, everything.
what was in that space before the gym? I mean, what?
So before the gym, this building is like a 32,000 square foot building. It's 40 lanes.
Yeah, it's huge.
When they built it, it was supposed to be where my gym is. It was supposed to be added on to even more lanes, and I'm like, more lanes. That's the biggest bowling alley I've seen. You know, they say up north they got bigger ones. I've never been to one that big. Oh, I was like, holy smokes. So anyway, my mom was like, you want to open this gym? I think I got a spot. I want you to meet me in the morning at Anchor. I'm like, what are we doing at Anchor? I'm like, I don't even like getting up there early anyway. Before I was going to work, And so I said, okay. So I know it must be something, So I know my mom. So I meet her there, and there's like hanging kind of tarps around these 8 lanes because they were replacing the other 32 lanes, but these lanes were messed up. And we're just 40 lanes is a lot, and we're not sure what we're gonna do. Maybe this is storage, maybe we'll lease it out. Keep in mind, it only had 2 walls. You couldn't lease it to anybody. Yeah. It wasn't a pass code. I mean, what are you gonna? There wasn't even much to lease. And you had to remove all 8 lanes, which was a ton of work. Then you had to put up walls, then electrical, lighting. You got a plumbing, bathrooms. It's got
being
to pass
commercial,
code.
like fire sprinklers.
Yeah. I mean, all these things you would have to. There was no. First of all, you need 2 more walls. Then you needed an actual door in the wall to even get into place. Yeah. So it's like it was a hazard. He goes, "Can you turn this to a gym?" And I looked around and I said, "Yeah, I could turn this into a gym." I was like,
so mom had the vision before you did.
She did. My mom. If it wasn't for my mom, this wouldn't happen. What if my mom and Scott? This would not have happened.
Man, I think,
and that's a true story.
That's something we have in common. We got started 5 years ago. We were working for somebody, but mom was the one that saw the vision.
That's awesome.
Dad was a little bit more hesitant. Mom was the risk taker. Mom said, "You know what? It ain't much. Here's what she had saved up from her working, but she said, here you go, take off, do your own thing. I'd rather see you doing it for yourself than working for somebody else. And without that, none of this would be possible. So
that's
moms,
awesome.
Man, they gotta they see something before you do it, and they're sacred.
It's awesome, man. It's like I tell people, I'm like, my mom's the most important person in the world to me. Yeah. And it's like, that's a different relationship than I have like with my little sister, my older sisters. It's different than what I have with me and my girl, Emily, or me and my daughter, Addison. You can't compare it. It's just a special relationship with a son and mom is a sacred relationship.
Yeah, I call my mom at least once a day.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
How you doing? Yeah.
What you getting into today?
Yeah. And it's like I tell my girlfriend Emily, and her relationship with her dad is the same way, just in reverse kind of. And I would never try to compete with that relationship. Yeah. You can't compete with a girl's dad. So it's like this same kind of thing. But it wouldn't happen to my mom. Just same with you guys, which is awesome. She saw it, and then I was like, okay, I can do this. And then I had a vision, but she had it first. Yeah. And it was like
the space was there. All I needed was the vision, and like, okay, now. Yeah. Yeah. And
it's like, a lot of people wouldn't be able to see it. Like if I need to still put some stuff out there of like what it looked like first, and the progression, and make a really cool video or reel. Yeah. And they can see all the steps, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, like you saw this from that. And that's really what it was.
So from inception up until where you're at today, because now you walk in, and I told Hugh, I was like, man, whoever the contractor was that did your work, top tier work.
Thank you.
The black on the walls is
the bathrooms, bro.
Thank you,
bro. No, it's like you're in a 5-star hotel.
I appreciate it, man.
That's the first thing I noticed when I walk in. There's a smell. It's a distinct smell. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it smells good in here. It smells good. It doesn't smell like old carpet. It smells good. The all black machines, state of the art machines.
Thank you.
It motivates you to get a good workout in. But from the inception of the vision up until now, what problems did you come across hunting down equipment? I know you were all over the place, eBay, getting Stairmasters, getting all black machine. I was like,
you know, the crazy part about all this is doing all this work, and I still used to see you at the gym every night. Every night, bro. I'd be up on that treadmill, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the most jacked dude in this gym. I was
Appreciate
like,
it, man.
he's the man in this gym. Because I'd look around, I'd people watch. Like, there's nothing to do when you
Yeah.
run, right? You just people watch, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's here again. I'm like, man, he's here every night, late. He's like, he's
Try
here.
to be, man.
He's here late. I'm talking. It's like 10:02 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get out. He's still banging out the cables, bro.
I'm trying to get everything I could, man. I'm like, there's only so much time.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me, get it all in. And it's funny you say that because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, man, I'm not the most jacked guy here. And I'm like, and it's like, you're harder on yourself, But yeah, and I just love going to the gym, and it's fun. It's like my therapy. And I was like, man, I got to get it in. No matter, even if I get a short one in, I gotta stay, consistent. And it was like, same thing with the gym. Like, all right, I'm going to make this happen one way or another.
Yeah.
I'm just got to keep pushing. And that's what I tell myself, because it's like, it's going good, then you hit a snag. It's up and down. And I just couldn't let it, like my buddy D Hall says, like, you can't let anything slow you down.
Yeah.
You got to keep it moving in life.
I mean, success isn't linear.
Yeah.
When you step back and look at the big picture, you might see an upward trend.
Yeah.
But you zoom in day to day. You're like, well, rock bottom.
Yeah.
You come across days where you're like, oh,
And you can't let it
No.
like shake you or get you upset. And it's like, my buddy says, you got to keep it moving anyway, so don't let anything slow you down.
Oh yeah.
And I would think about that along, the journey, the process. But it's like funny with you guys saying how nice it is in there and the locker rooms and the smell. That makes me like really happy, because that's what I was trying to create. I'm trying to create this vibe, this vision in my head. And the scent, by the way, is a Ritz Carlton scent with the diffusers. So I put in a new AC unit. I put in 10 fans. I put in air purification system. I put in commercial grade air purifiers. I put in vent fans in the bathrooms and the showers. I did a lot of stuff on the front end so it would smell good, so I have clean air. So, and so I did airflow, and just my contractor, I got to give him props. So a friend of mine since 1819, I met through one of my best friends, Tommy Morgan. And contractor's name
Did you
is...
say since 1819?
Yeah, since I was 18, 19 years
Okay,
old.
I thought you wrote the years. I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
Adam's
Yeah,
Empire.
I was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
So I his name is Jonas Waldner. He owns Unity Construction. Done an awesome job. He did most of the stuff at Anchor, Anchor Lane's Bowling Alley, Club Fitness, the gym, my house, my mom's house, my friends' homes. He's awesome. His brother works with him from time to time, has his own thing, Joseph Waldner. And then we got for our general contractor, guy by the name of Frank. So he is, he's 69, 70, something like that.
Yeah.
Looks great. It looks like he's like 50. I mean, Frank Hemphill. He's, I could not have renovated and demoed, which I did a lot myself, but I needed their help on some stuff. As far as demo, renovation, build out, all that, dealing with code, you got to deal with code in town of Irmo, and they were great. And then
Fire marshals and-
fire marshal. You got to deal with architect, and I got a great architect. He's awesome. And getting those plans approved and everything. I could not have done all that without Jonas Waldner, Joseph Waldner, and Frank Hemphill. So those guys were great, man. They were really helpful, looked out for me, and everyone talks about how nice it is. It's because of those guys. Like I'd say anything you need me to do, and sometimes I could do stuff. Most of the time, not much for me to do. These guys are skilled, professionals. So they did an awesome job, man. So and as far as like the setbacks along the way, oh my gosh. A lot of setbacks, So we were, even in the beginning, how do we cut up these lanes? They're like really thick, they're like 2 inches. Saws weren't working. So then we had to get diamond tip saw blades. Yeah. Then we were running through those, buying more diamond tip saw blades. Then we cut them up. Then we had to have dumpsters out there. I've never seen a dumpster fill up so quick in my life.
Oh, man.
And it was like, then we're using jackhammers to get them off from the floor with the trusses. Then I'm trying to get the wood that was glued on the floor off. Couldn't get that off, so I got family friend Michael Howe, who owns a flooring company. He came in with this really special sander and got it off. And it was just like continue, and then we'd run into problems with, this isn't up to code or this has to be done this way. So we had to get the general contractor and then get approval from the town of Irmo and then turn around and, well, we got to get a good electrician or a good plumber who's certified.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so many little things, man.
Yeah.
You know, you just get to the point where you're like, screw it, I'm just going to figure it out. And that's just how you just get to that, like you get to expect stuff. And then you got to realize, like, when you work for a company, you're like, well, I'm doing my part, and the owner or manager will figure it out. And all of a sudden, when you own a company, you're the guy that's got to figure it out, and you got to make all the decisions. And it sounds great, and for the most part, it is. Until you run into problems, you're like, I got to figure this out. There's no one else that's going to come along and help me or tell me what to do.
And it just adds to the budget.
Yeah.
It's just like problem after problem.
More money.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, man.
You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it's like with the architect, we got to change these plans. We got to update this. We got to update that. And so and then you run into code. And I mean, it could be simple things like, well, this ramp isn't up to the new building code degree.
Yep.
Yeah, it was up to the old one. Well, we did the old one. Yeah, but because you've done this other stuff new, it's got to be to the new international building code, not the existing international building code.
In, too steep and
ADA
and
exactly.
Yeah.
So you run into stuff like that, like, we got to tear this ramp out. It's a 12-foot ramp. Take it out. Put in a 15-foot ramp. Time, money, Material, so it's like, then they got to come back and inspect it. And then so when you're trying to get the general permit for, and it's probably the same in a lot of places, but for town of Irmo, you have to, they come in, they check your plans. If anything's off, they let you know. And then they only check it once a month. So then you get pushed back next month. And so, and that's just a process. I mean, they're busy, they got a lot to do. And so you're like, I don't want any problems on there because it gets pushed back to the next month. I mean, every month behind is a month we're not open. We're not making money, you know? So then you're like, all right, we need to start getting this thing done so we can get it open and make money. And so you run into those problems and with the code, and we met with the code officials and my general contractor, my architect, and all these guys that I've had, work with me. They, 60 something, 70, they own their own firms. They're top notch. So I was really fortunate. I had some really good guys in my corner to help me, because they knew what they were doing.
And the finished product reflects that.
Yeah. I mean, I was, I don't know why they wanted to work with me, when they would say, oh, I'm busy 3 weeks, but they'd give me an appointment next week. Yeah. So I don't know. I think what they told me was, is you're very passionate about this and we like that. And it reminds us, when we were young, and that we believe in you. And so they wanted to help me. Even my website guy, same thing. Yeah. Owns his own company. He's 50-something, 60-something. Great guy. He was like, I believe in what you're doing. And that and the fact that I didn't lie to these guys and I don't owe them any money, I think helped. I always paid them when I said I was going to pay them. That always helps. But yeah, I mean, they were great, man. I invited them all to the grand opening and private opening. They were really, really helpful. But you just hit a lot of different snags. Yeah. Along the way. I mean, even one thing, it was like, well, I had everything in there handicap compliant. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to do that, even though I didn't even need to, but I did all the ramps and steps and toilets and counter height. And one thing was, this toilet needs a left hand or grab bar or we ran into that too, but flush. The flusher, yeah. And I was like, I never even heard of that. And I was like, I told my contractor, I said, don't even argue with him. I said, just go to Lowe's.
Yeah, I did notice that because you got the 0 entry shower. You roll in there, the pocket doors, no thresholds. Yep. The ramp going up. So we did all that, and even the sidewalk ramps down outside. I didn't have to do that, but I said, well, I might as well just do it 100%. So my dad taught me, if you're gonna do something, do it 100%, or don't waste your time. Yeah. So I was like, it's not really gonna cost any more money. Let's just do it all 100%. And so we had to get that one toilet with the left handle flush nozzle or whatever. And I told my contractor, I said, just buy the damn toilet. It's not worth arguing and waiting another month. Let's just do this, do whatever we got to do to get this thing open. Yeah. And make sure they're happy, And so they got a job to do. They're trying to keep the people in the town of Irmo safe. Yeah. Because this, the code and fire marshal. If something happens to one of these places and someone gets hurt or dies, then the code officials and the fire marshal and the town of Irmo, they're going to feel like, man, we didn't do our job. Oh, yeah. So I understand where they're coming from. Yeah. I understand where they're coming from, and I don't have anything bad to say about the mayor,
the town of Irmo, the code officials. I mean, they were really helpful. A lot of them came to the grand opening, and so you know, it all worked out. But it was also a learning experience for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never opened a business before. I've never built something, demoed it, built it from scratch, from the ground up. So I was learning a whole lot, you know, along the way. And now I'm like, the next gym I open, I'm like, okay, I already know what to do. You know what I mean? I know what to do. I know who to talk to. I know what I need to do. And so, yeah, it was really, really helpful, you know, learning all of it now. And looking back, at times you get really stressful, but now I'm like, okay, I did this. Now I can do anything. You know?
Is the finished product the way the gym ended up with the outdoor area and how everything's set up? Is that what you had envisioned originally, or it kind of came together as it progressed?
That was my original vision.
Yeah.
And I still want to do stuff to make it nicer, and I'm still adding stuff and reinvesting back in the business, even though we've only been open for 3 months or so. But I want to make it better and nicer. But my vision for the outside was like, I wanted to be like Venice Beach kind.
Yeah.
I want that Venice Beach vibe. Yeah. And the inside, I wanted to be like really nice, high end, because there's no luxury, you know, gym or fitness club in Columbia.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, what can I do that's different? You know, I can have this great mix of equipment and have custom deadlift platforms and a lot of brand new stuff and some specialty novelty stuff. Have it inside with the black, you know, the black color, the black and gray, and have some white with the countertops. Have the rain shower heads and have the smoothie coffee bar and all the pre-made meals in Irmo. And so I had the security system and cameras and all that. It's very safe.
The WWE Network. I was watching the Royal Rumble from like 06. And I'm like, what years is Royal Rumble from? So like Shelton Benjamin coming out, Big Show coming out.
Yeah.
I'm in there like, okay, yeah.
Well, have you met John Schuyler?
I've seen him around and I've seen him on the stories, but I don't want to go and be like, yo, I know you, but you don't know me.
No, he's a nice guy, man.
Like, he's a wrestler, wrestles for TNA.
Yeah,
So
pro
I've seen him
wrestler. Yeah.
Big dude.
Traveled the world. He just met Arnold a month ago.
Yeah.
In
he's a
Venice.
USC alumni too now.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah. And he so he works part-time at my gym. And I said, John, you want to work at my gym? And I was like, you're a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I just want something to do when I'm not traveling. And so I said, all right. So he helps me out. And I said, man, how many gyms have a pro wrestler working their front desk? And he gets a kick out of that. So you know, it's pretty cool. He's so my sister's boyfriend is his best friend.
Okay.
So Ryan Flippin, his best friend is John Schuyler. That's how I met John.
Yeah.
And John's just a great guy. So we just, you know, we've got Tessa Metz is a member.
Oh, yeah.
She came in 9th in the world last year in the women's figure at the Olympia. So she's ninth best in the world.
She's ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah, her and Walter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Walter. Yeah. Actually, I talked to Walt before I came. It's his birthday today.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, he turned 28. So I was talking, literally before I got here, I was on the phone with him. He's a great guy. So, I mean, we got a great mix of members there, and, you know, everything's great. We haven't had any problems. And then, the outside is, like you were, it's like, okay, we got the half-inch thick floor, the turf, the lights come on at night, and we've got a bunch of old school equipment, like Venice Beach, pump and iron, Arnold style, and you can do whatever you want. It's rubber, you can't mess anything up. So, you know, it's that's the kind of hardcore area, and then the inside is like the nice gym, I guess. Yeah. And then I've got the lockers coming in, so people can buy their own private locker if they want, because no one else is doing that.
Yeah.
But they used to do that in New Life. That's where I got that idea from. And then if you're a VIP member, then you get the discount on the Anchor Lanes bowling, the Anchor Links golf, and then the bar restaurant. So we've revamped all that. Everything's pretty much new. We've got expanded menu for food. We've got expanded alcohol menu. We got the Garnet and Black vodka. We've got Patron tequila. We've got all kinds of good stuff. And then we have the TV. So this is cool. We put in all brand new lanes, new floor, fix the ceiling, the roof. I mean, custom countertops for the bars, and fix the parking lot. Put in a bunch of new TVs, but then the main TVs, which I think I showed you, the lanes are like 32 lanes. And they got this TV that's about 8 or 10 foot tall and 32 lanes wide. So it's roughly 176 foot wide. And so they built that. It took them 2 weeks. And they said it's the largest TV in South Carolina. Whoa. I said, no way. I think one of the bowling alley now has one the same size as ours. And so they said that's the biggest one we've done in the country. I know there's other bowling alleys and places that have bigger TVs in the country, but that particular company. So I was like, man, this is awesome. Because you can have one TV per lane, or you can do 2 a lane, or you have 4 lanes that have big TV and watch football with people life size. And you have a car race across all 32 lanes. So it's pretty cool because it's not LEDs like projector screen. It's like little tiny box TVs, and hundreds of them is what makes up this huge TV.
Giant.
Yeah, so it's pretty unique.
That's a sweet spot to watch some college football.
Like a jumbo,
Yeah.
like a jumbotron, right?
Yeah. And then we've got the Anchor Links Golf Bar and Lounge with the 2 16 or 18 foot wide pro swing simulators, brand new, and then other TVs in there, and the Golf Bar Lounge, and people do a lot of events there. I've done my birthday there like 3 years in a row. It's fun. And we got like the tailor-made clubs. We've got 140 something golf courses you can pick from. So it's pretty cool. So we got a lot going on there. So
Nice, man.
yeah, so it's been fun, man. The last few years have been challenging but fun.
Yeah, but rewarding.
Yeah.
Once you see the vision come alive.
Oh man, once it started paying off, it was like when I tell people this, like, is it stressful? And I said, man, I was more stressed trying to get this thing open than anything.
Yeah.
And me and my girlfriend, she's pregnant. We got a baby on the way, and I'm trying to get this thing open. The day after I got it open, after the grand opening, and she's about to have a baby in 2 weeks. I go Saturday. I go to work at like 8 a.m. And I'm like, I just sigh of relief, man. And I'm like looking around. I'm like, man, I did it. And it's like, since then I was so less stressed after it being open. I'm like, getting it open was the hardest, most stressful part, without a doubt. And then just trying to do it and finish it. And then a lot of people, well, this isn't going to work, or that's not a good idea. You have all these people. You know what I mean? That say stuff.
Voices in
you
the
have
ear.
to ignore it.
The naysayers.
You have to ignore it.
Noise.
And I'm like, I'm so glad that I ignored it and went after my dream, my passion to open a gym I've wanted to do since I was a teenager. And I'm like, I'm so glad I went after it. And it paid off. And I've had a lot of people support me. You know, you have some people think support you that don't. And then I had a lot of people that are perfect strangers that support me more than some of your best friends and family. And so then you're like, after that, you're like really appreciative for all those people that support you. I had a buddy of mine, D Hall, the one we're doing the clothing brand with, and he's a supermodel. And he came up and did a photo shoot. He was there for the private opening and helped out. He bought a paid in full membership. I said, D, you don't have to do that. He's like, no. I'm doing this to support you, even though I don't even live here. I live in Florida. He goes, because I'm proud of you, and I believe in what you're doing, man. I was like, whew. You know, trying to make me cry, man.
Sometimes the support comes from the people you least expect.
Yeah, and I'm like, he's not even, he doesn't even live here. He just was doing that just to, support me. And so that kind of stuff is like really cool. It's really special. And so, since it's been open, I'm less stressed. And then we had my baby girl, Addison, my firstborn child, 2 weeks later. And I'm like, Adam, you must be busy. And I'm like, I am, but I'm like, I'm not really stressed that much. I'm really at home, spending time with my girl and my baby, and then I'm at the gym. A lot of times I train my girl at the gym. I'm holding the baby, holding a 2-month, 3-month-old baby in my arms, and we got a good routine, and it's rarely stressful. Right now, I'm just enjoying the gym, and I'm enjoying meeting new people and spending time with friends and family, and I'm enjoying. Being a dad. And
how's fatherhood been, Adam?
Man.
How's it been to you being a girl dad? First time dad, and then at dad, a girl dad. How's that been?
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So you hear a lot of stuff before you have a kid, and you're like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You even hear.
You won't sleep at night.
Yeah, you hear all this stuff. Yeah, and it's
You're
like.
not going to be jacked anymore.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, man. It is way better than I thought it would be. It's easier than I thought it'd be. Not that it's not hard at times, but it's not near as bad as a lot of people say.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with a baby and this and that, I want to have another one. And my baby's, she'll be what's today? Is today Friday?
Yep.
She's 3 months and
Friday
2
the
weeks
18th.
today. Exactly. I want to have another kid already. So I think it's awesome. So. My girlfriend Emily Brown, so she swore up and down it's gonna be a boy. And so now I'm thinking it's a boy, and I'm excited. And I'm like, okay, she. we go to the appointment for the ultrasound and then find out it's a girl. And I'm like speechless. And then she's all excited and kind of has a tear. And so is the ultrasound lady. And I'm like, and it wasn't because I was like mad it was a girl. I'll tell you what it was. So we get in the car and she's like, are you okay? She's like, you're not saying anything. She kind of starts to cry. She's like, you're not excited? And I said, no. I said, don't cry. I said, I'm excited. I said, I just wasn't expecting this. I said, I'm mentally prepared for it to be a boy. And I'm like, well, the boy, I got nothing to worry about. It's a boy. He's all right. Push him down, toughen him up. He'll be okay. He's fine. He's a boy. With a girl, I'm like, oh, shit. Because now I'm thinking about my whole mindset change where I'm like, now I'm thinking about, I got to protect this little baby girl. I'm worried about her. I got to raise her differently than I'm going to raise a boy.
A lot of love and comprehension.
Yeah, so it took me like, even Emily said, it just took him a couple of days to like soak it in that I'm
like a mental mind shift.
Exactly, that he's, and that's exactly what it was. And so then my mom tells me, it's like, and my aunt Janet told me this, and other friends and family said, well, when you have the baby, the only thing you're gonna worry about is that it's healthy. Whether it's a boy or girl. And it's like, you're gonna be so happy no matter if it's a boy or a girl. I said, yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? Like people just say this stuff. You know what I mean? Well, when we had that baby and we're in that operating room in Lexington Medical Center, and guys, I'm not making this up. It's me, Emily, having a baby girl. The doctor is a female. The other doctor's a female. All the nurses are females. I'm the only guy in this room. I'm like, so I grew up with 5 sisters and a stepsister. I was like, here I am with all females having a baby girl. I'm like, I cannot escape women. I cannot escape these girls. I guess I'm just destined to be a girl dad, which is fine. But it was just like, you can't make this up, Like, what are the odds of that happening? And so had the baby and then bring the baby, and Emily sees baby Addison and kind of starts crying. I look at her and you have like a tear coming out of your eye. Eyes aren't really open yet. And the doctor and the nurses are talking about her lips. Oh, a lot of women would pay a lot of money for those lips. Oh, she's going to be a knockout. She's going to have a lot of guys trying to date her. And I said, no, she can't date until she's married. And they all start dying laughing. I was like, she needs a sweater. I was like, she's going to be wearing a sweater. And they're all laughing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And then they let me walk over to where they had her in, kind of like laying down in like the little crib or whatever it's called. So I get up to Addison and I see her and she kind of opened one eye. She's looking around and she opens both eyes and looks at me. And I was like, whew. I thought I was going to fall down. Yeah. I thought I was going to break down crying.
Love at first sight.
Just literally just like people told me. And I was like, whew. So I literally thought I was going to break down crying. And I was like, oh my God. And at that point, and then I knew she was healthy. Then when I knew Emily was healthy, Emily and Addison were healthy, then I didn't have a care in the world. Happiest day of my life. So when you have your baby, once you know they're both healthy, your girl, your wife, and your son, you're not gonna have a care in the world. It's the happiest day of my life. And it was just like it's a miracle. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And so then I'm like looking at her, smiling. Then they take her back. Then I go check on Emily. And then they put me in the other corner of the operating room. And would you like to hold her? I said, I can hold her. And they're like, oh my God, yeah. And they're like, oh, he's such a girl dad. I had on all pink. I had a pink sweater, pink shoes, pink shorts. Like, I love it. He's a girl dad. They're all joking and laughing. And they let me hold her. And I'm holding her, smiling. And there's pictures. I'm smiling. And there's tears coming down my cheeks. Yeah. And it's like, you just literally tears of joy. And it was just awesome, man. It was funny because it's like the same kind of thing my Aunt Janet and my mom said. And then my buddy D Hall said, he's like, man. And so D came from Cleveland, really, really, and he'll tell you this, very ghetto area of Cleveland. Never really met his dad and, grew up, very poor. And then he got a college scholarship for basketball, became a pro basketball player, and ended up taking care of his mom and his family and then modeling. And so then really took care of his family and did really well. He's a tough guy, black belt, 6'6". And he goes, when you see that baby, you're going to cry. I said, nah. He goes, no, it doesn't matter who you are. He goes, and I talked to him after. He goes, you cry? I said, yeah, I'm holding her, tears coming down. And, you know what I mean? Smiling. He goes, yeah, happens every. He goes, I did it. He goes, I cried. He goes, I don't care how tough you are. Everybody cries. And I was like, I said, D, you are so right.
It's the miracle of life, man.
Yeah, it's literally, he goes, man, and he said this, he goes, it's nothing you, look at me, Adam, he goes, nothing you do in your life is going to compare to having a baby. He's like, everything I've done, nothing compares. He goes, the greatest thing you'll ever do is having a baby.
Yeah.
And he goes, that is your baby. That's your child. And I was like, wow. I was like, you know, you played NBA, you're a supermodel, and all these things. He goes, nothing compares.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, miracle of life. And it really was like, man, I couldn't sit down for an hour after I had that, after Emily had the baby. I'm like, my chest was on fire with just excitement. You know, it's unbelievable.
At what point in your girl's pregnancy did it start feeling real? Because I know when you find out, you're like, you're excited. But after, I mean, from that point up until maybe 7 months of waiting, a lot happens, and you're just like, it doesn't feel real. You know it's real, but you can't put the feeling into words.
Yeah.
Like, did it happen for you on the back end, or?
Well, I'll answer that in two ways. Because at first it doesn't feel real. Because you're not a woman, so it's like, you know, a woman, they feel it the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And they're very intuitive, and I mean, you know, it's funny because you talk about a lot of stuff the last 10 years of like women and men and comparing women and men. I'm like, you can't compare men and women. Two totally different. You know, I said, if you were, women can actually birth a child. They can bring a soul into the world. I said, they pretty much won. You know, that's a miracle.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that is, you can't compete with that.
Yeah.
And so they obviously feel it, and they feel the kicks and all that kind of stuff. And once I was able to put my hand on her stomach and feel that baby kick, I was like, oh my God. Then you're like, wow. You know, then you're like wanting to sleep on her stomach. You know, you want to put your hand on her stomach and feel it. And then it's like, oh my gosh, like this is real. And then, you know, when we had the baby and then we're in the hospital room, then I was like, whoa. It's like, then it happened for the second time where it's like really hit you because you're like, okay, we're past the fun part of having a baby and feeling her kick, and now she's had the baby, so they're both healthy, and now the baby's here. And you're like, it's a whole mind shift change.
And no instructions, right?
No instructions.
No manual, no nothing. Here's your baby.
Yeah.
Go home, no?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so it is scary.
Yeah.
And then you're just thinking, like, especially for me, like as a dad, you're like, you know, obviously protecting your woman and your baby girl, and but then you become more motivated because then you want to become more successful, but then you also want to become like a better man, and then because you want to be a role model, and then you also, I think it makes, and my mom says this when a man has a daughter. It's probably the same way with a son. I just don't know yet. I've had a son. Hopefully, I'll have one next. But you become a little more emotional.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you're real sweet to your baby, you know, and then you see other kids, and then you just kind of like you think about your kid, and then like when you're on the phone with a buddy, it's all right. I'll see you later, man. Good talking to you. Well, now you might want to be like, all right, man. I love you, man. You know. So it's like you become a little more you appreciate stuff more.
Yeah.
You know. So at least that's how it's been for me, you know? And so, you know, everyone says, you become a better man. You become a better man when you have a baby. I'm like, yeah, okay. But it's true. I think if you really want to have be a dad, then it does make you better. And you start thinking differently and stuff.
It's not just about you now.
No, yeah.
Now you got one more person. I mean, you live with your girlfriend, or
we live in Irmo, right down the street.
Yeah.
And so it's our little family, man. It's me, Emily, and Addison.
Nice. Yeah, it's no longer just about you. It's now you got your little family.
Yeah.
And it's exciting stuff, man.
It's awesome, man.
How have you balanced it, Adam? The opening the gym, the family life. Sometimes I feel like as a man, you said you brought up a good topic. You can't compare men and women. They create life. Men have their battles. I feel like sometimes in the day there's not enough time to get everything you want to do and everything
Yeah.
you need to do. How have you balanced that out?
It's a good question because, I have a to-do list every day.
Yeah.
I have a calendar and notes on my phone. It's rare I get to complete every task on that list every day, but I just try to do the most important things first. And then as far as balancing, I try to like prioritize like the top 2 or 3 things that are most important. Like, I wake up and a lot of times the baby's next to me and she's either asleep or she's waking up and she's making a bunch of noise and talking. And then I hang with her and play with her, and me, Emily, and her. Sometimes Emily gets to do some stuff while I'm watching the baby. And so I'm like, well, I could wake up and go shower, go straight to work and work. But then I'm going to miss out on this special time of my little baby growing up. Because once it's gone, you never get it back. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, nothing's really more important than this baby. So I would spend time with Addison and Emily in the morning, 30 minutes, hour or two, whatever it is. And then, I'll go shower, eat coffee, start my day, go work. And I come home usually for lunch, have lunch with them, hang out. And then when I'll train Emily at the gym, she'll come work out. I'm literally holding the baby, while I'm training her. Yeah. So I'm like, as far as balancing it, man, I just really try to like remind myself what's important and focus on that. And I'm like, I know I got to do what I have to do as far as the gym and building the business and paying the bills and taking the trash out, doing the yard work, that kind of stuff. But I'm also trying to spend as much time with my baby and my family as I can. Yeah. So, and then I'm up there at the gym a lot. Sometimes I might be up there working out at 1 o'clock at night. Sometimes I might be cleaning there at 1 o'clock at night. Like problems, like, we had a cleaning company that they did well. And then, there was a mistake that was made and kind of messed up some wall paint and some of the equipment. Had to have someone else come paint it and someone else come clean it. And so lately I've been cleaning the gym, myself, so you just do what you got to do. Yeah. So it's like sometimes you might go to bed at 1, 2 o'clock at night. I'm in there cleaning and I wake up the next morning and, you wake up next to your daughter, your baby, and it's kind of hard to go back to sleep when you got this little baby making noise and wanting to spend time with you, smiling and stuff. So really, man, as far as balancing it, there's certain things I know I have to do to take care of business, pay the bills. Then I just try to like focus on what are the most important things to do. And then also, how can I still spend a lot of time with my family while she's young and she's a little baby, so. And then it is nice because I have a lot of friends and family that are members of the gym and that also go to Anchor Lanes. And so like, for example, this weekend, so long story short, my best friend in the world, Eddie Forrest. So he was a combat veteran and did a couple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. And Marine, he's grew up in Irmo, went to Irmo High School. He beat the state champ wrestler senior year, and we went to state for football. So he's undefeated in the Marine Corps grappling, just a very athletic, tough guy. So he, unfortunately, passed away recently.
Sorry,
I appreciate it. So a month or so ago, and so we've grown up together, best friends since 6th grade, and he lived here obviously for a long time and went to Irmo and everything. And so we're having a celebration of life for him. My mom's idea, this Saturday, in the park in Irmo. We're doing a prayer with Chandler Bailey, Pastor Chandler Bailey. Knew him, and he's doing a prayer. We're doing a memorial, a couple speeches in the park in Irmo. And we're going to walk down to Anchor Lanes, and we're doing a celebration of life. And, doing this to celebrate his life and think about the good times. And so we're doing the whole taco bar and everything because he liked tacos, and we're doing alcohol and kegs outside and just doing this for him and his family. Yeah. And we've got memorial set up. We actually did not that, they necessarily need it, but we're doing a GoFundMe because he's got a wife and he's got a 7-year-old son. And so, we're thinking about the son and and all that kind of stuff. And so they're coming in town today. They're going to stay with me. But actually, my little sister lives 2 houses down, so we'll kind of go back and forth. And then we got other family friends coming. I got his parents coming. And so we're doing this whole thing for him. And it's just an example of like what Anchor Lanes means for the community, what we do for the community, and how, you know, I'm still spending quality time with my family and friends. And,
That's awesome.
And you know, even at the business, and trying to do that all together, you know. So and obviously we're not making any money off of this because we're doing this for his family, and you know, every time someone buys a drink, we tack on $1, you know, and it goes to the family, and we're doing the GoFundMe. We've got the flyers and everything, and so even though that is business, you know, it's not just business to us. You know, it's personal. And so we're using that business not as a way to make more money, but as a way to help out someone who's a friend, but really more like family to us.
Your tribe.
Yeah. And so that's, if I can make money at this gym in the bowling alley and have a good living, great. But if I can also use that to help out my friends and family and to spend time with them and to help out in the community, I mean, that's even better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, and that's awesome. Sounds like your family, you're tight and built something greater than a bowling alley and a gym.
Yeah.
It's an integral part of the community where
appreciate that.
You got the mayor, the city council, all these people that came to the opening, and people who host birthdays there. And I mean, for kids, hosting a birthday is something memorable. To the adults, it might not mean much, but for these kids, looking back in 10, 15, 20 years, man, I had some really nice birthdays at Anchor Lanes, and the people that go to work out of the gym have a nice, safe spot. Yeah, man, it's the atmosphere. I think you and your family are creating is
thank you.
It's amazing, man.
That's what I was trying to recreate, because they had a great atmosphere at New Life Fitness World. Yeah, and I was like, I wanted to create the atmosphere, that vibe. You know, and how can we do things here that are different? And so, that's what we try to do. Like with Anchor Lanes, like my mom and Scott have, they do the Special Olympics there. They right now they have the kids camp almost every morning, bowling there. They've done benefits for charities, for cancer charities. Last year when you had the hurricane, the two hurricanes. Yeah, that's right. I was going to say flood, but I'm like the hurricanes, even though there was flooding. They let the linemen come and all the first responders come and eat for free for like a week or two, and just to help them out, because these people are working 12, 14, 16-hour days, you know, and a lot of people didn't have electricity or water or all their food, was gone from the electricity going out. So, we try to do a lot of that kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, we probably should advertise some of that. We've only done like one advertisement. Yeah. We need to do more, just to get the word out about Anchor Lanes and Club Fitness. But
this is why your contractor was not hesitant to help you out.
Yeah,
I think I'm just looking at it from a contractor's. I mean, you would have hired us and you would have told us this. No matter how slammed we are, we'd be like, "Come on, dude, let's."
That's cool, man.
Yeah, let's go help Adam now, man. He's here to help.
That's pretty cool. That makes me feel good. You saying that. I'll tell you this, man, because you'll like this, because you're about to have a son soon, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Man, I'm excited for you. That's just awesome.
Firstborn, first time, lots of emotions, lots of unexplored thoughts and emotions, and
I bet you're excited, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's whew. And I'll tell you this because my best friend Eddie that passed away, his son's 7. Bodie is his name. His wife's name is Megan Forrest. Mom and dad are Wade and Lisa Forrest. Well, I went up there for the funeral and everything for the week, and spending as much time with them as possible. And so anyway, I stopped by Buc-ee's. I've never been to Buc-ee's before, so I'm like, what is all this? It's a gas station. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are acting crazy. Well, we happened to go to this one on the way to Nashville. Yeah. So he lived 30 minutes outside of Nashville, Lebanon, Tennessee. And it happens to be this brand new one, the biggest one in the U.S. And I'm like, holy smokes, this thing is unreal.
It's like a Walmart in there.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's awesome. It's clean. Like all these great stuff. So I get like a Hawaiian Bucky's dad shirt. So I'm a dad now. I gotta get me a dad shirt. And I need to get the Nike Monarchs next. You know, get the dad shoes. You know, all white
with the blue swoosh. Yeah.
So anyway, I get that. I get football and some swim trunks for Eddie's son, Bodie. And I'm like, well, I don't know how much he'll like this. You know, it's a gas station. I get there, give it to him, and he's like, oh. I'm like, I had no idea the kid was going to be this excited. Well, after we leave, they go down to Florida for a vacation. He's texting me from his iPad. You know, like, sometimes texts me all day and might not hear from him. Then the next day he's texting me or whatever. So he sends me a picture. He got the same matching shorts to my Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, he's like, yeah. And then his mom tells me, Megan goes, Bodie's ready to come down, you know, to South Carolina for Eddie's memorial.
Dripped out.
And so like he's got matching shorts, and I'm wearing that shirt tomorrow.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, and then, yeah, you know, I spent a lot of time with him and talked to him, and I said, well, you know, your dad was my best friend in the world, and I tell him a lot of stories, and he's like, no way, and he gets so excited. And I said, so if you ever need anything, I said, you know I'm always here for you, right? Yeah. He said, I know. I said, okay, good. And we were all hanging out, and there's a bunch of us, we've grown up together since middle school. We're all up there for Eddie and his family. And, you know, we're hanging out playing football, basketball in the pool. We go to get our haircuts together, like 4 of us. Yeah. And then we all got matching haircuts, same as Bodie. And then we got the lightning bolt, same as Bodie. And it was really cool. And at one point he said, someone said, are you okay? Are you good or something? He goes, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm with the boys, Mom. Don't worry about me. And he goes, he learned that from his dad. Yeah. Learned that from Eddie. So what I'm saying is like, man, that's the kind of stuff you got to look forward to. Because to Bodie, Eddie, his dad was his hero. And motivated me, taught him a lot. And he's like, you know, as long as I'm with the boys, I got nothing to worry about. So that's the kind of stuff you have to look forward to, because your son's going to look up to you like, oh yeah, you're his hero. You know what I mean? So I look at that, and it's really, really cool. And then I'm like, well, you know, then you want to be the hero for your kids. I want to be the hero for my daughter.
Lead by example more than anything.
Yeah. So you start just thinking about stuff differently, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
You gotta watch out, because everything kids see, they repeat.
Yeah.
It's not just preaching and do this.
Yeah.
You gotta be the.
Yeah, and you don't want to argue around them. You don't want that negative energy, and so we try to have a healthy, happy environment for our baby, Addison. So me and Emily, and not that we don't argue, because everybody argues from time to time, but that and the fact that Emily knows I'm always right, so we don't have to worry about it. I'm just kidding, Emily. But no, we try to be like aware, of that kind of stuff, and
make the conscious decision, not in front of the.
You want to be a role model. They're always, they're always your kids. They're always watching. So it just little things like that. That they're paying attention. And that's. So I'll tell you this. People ask, how you doing, or how's it with the baby and the gym and all this and these changes and I was telling Emily, I said, we're very blessed that you're healthy and the baby's healthy, and that we're able to do this gym and be successful and have the freedom to spend time with our daughter, and not have to go to work all day or put her in childcare, which is fine. I know you got to do what you got to do. But I'm like, I said, I think we just need to always remind ourselves of how blessed we are.
Health and time in this day and age is the real richness.
I said we're very fortunate that the baby's healthy and happy, and we're doing good, and our friends and family are healthy. I said, a lot of friends and family of mine, and they've had problems. With their baby might have a health issue. They could have had a miscarriage. So you have those things, and I'm like, it's literally just by the grace of God that we're healthy, the baby's healthy, and so I'm like, we need to continue to be appreciative of this. Yeah. You know what I mean, and not take it for granted.
Yeah, sometimes people, as entrepreneurs, people think the perks of being an entrepreneur is you're swimming in money, this and that.
No.
The real benefits come from, let me go have lunch with my wife, my fiance,
Yeah.
my girlfriend. Let me go have lunch with my mom. Let me, you know what?
Let me go on vacation and not have to ask off.
Screw this. I'm gonna take, instead of staying here till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I'm gonna leave it for tomorrow and take off at 5.
Yeah.
You get to pick, you know, do I want to grind it out till, 3 a.m. or do I want to clock out at 3 p.m.?
Yeah. You have that freedom.
That ecosystem. You get to set
Yeah.
up your own ecosystem and you get to set up your own, kind of like your own rules. I mean,
See, what you guys are talking about was my main motivation. It was like, oh, I always wanted to be a business owner and do my own thing. But it wasn't just so I could say, hey, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could do whatever I want, make a ton of money. I wanted it so I could have the freedom to live life how I wanted to live life. Or if I want to spend time with my family, if I want to go on a family vacation for a week, last minute, I don't have to get approval. You know, I can have the freedom to do that, to spend more time with my family and close friends.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, even when you are making money on the business, you still got bills to pay. You still got to reinvest in that business. So it's like, well, you just made this amount of money.
No.
I'm like, yeah, but I got to pay this. I got to invest this. You know, I got to have money for a rainy day. So it's like, you know, every dollar that comes in is not 100% profit. And you know, I don't think people realize that. And it's funny, I was talking to my cousins, twin cousins, Kent and Cody Pearson. They started a business a few years before me. State Street Brewery in Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia. And they did really well. And they started it, you know, kind of right before COVID, and then COVID happened, and then they had to be creative to make ends meet. And they ended up doing really, really well, but it was a very, very hard process. And they recently sold it and did well on that too. But I was like, yeah, you know, it's like people, you know, they might get upset sometimes, like, oh, you know, you forgot to tell about the private opening, the grand opening, or you haven't seen you in a while, or oh, must be nice having a business. And I'm like, you guys have no idea how stressful, how much time it is, how much hard work, and how you're scared sometimes, and this and that. And I'm like,
bro,
you literally are, especially when you're trying to open it, sometimes you don't even have time for any call that's not business. You're, you know, day and night, you can be so busy trying to open it and build it. And I was talking to Kent and Cody about it, and they said, Adam, they're not going to understand until they open a business. Oh, yeah. Until you try to start a business, you can try to tell them, but they're not going to be able to understand it. Yeah. And I was like, that's a good point. I said, correct. Yeah, I was like, you're right, you know? It's like you try to explain something to somebody, and it's like, unless they've been through it, they can't really understand.
You can't experience it till you do. So,
yeah.
Well, Adam, as we're coming to a close on this episode, what can we expect to see from Adam, from you, from Club Fitness, from Anchor Lanes? What's next for Club Fitness? Are you planning on maybe opening up another one, another 2, or you
coaching?
got any?
What about any coaching?
Yeah, I've seen you in there coaching. An older gentleman. So
I've got a few things. I got a few things that I'm excited about, that I'm working on.
Okay.
So, you know, like we talked about y'all's podcast, I've got a lot of friends and social media influencers and successful business owners that I want to get on y'all's podcast, because I think this is great. This room is awesome. This is beautiful, top notch. I mean, I didn't even know what to expect. You know, I've never done a podcast before, but I was like, this is like a South Carolina Joe Rogan or something. You know, like, this is top notch, and the location's great too. You guys are in a great part of Irmo, Lake Murray Boulevard. So I want to give props out to y'all.
Thank you.
Midland Show podcast. This is great. So I want to thank you guys for having me on. Seriously.
Thank you.
This is fun. I know we've been trying to schedule this. There's been a lot going on. But I've really enjoyed it. You guys have been great to me. And there's a few other people I want to introduce you guys to. I think that'll be great as well.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. So I'm definitely appreciative that you guys have had me. And some of the things that I'm working on, which I want to invite you guys as well, is I want to have a men's club every month in Anchor Links, the Golf Bar Lounge. We'll do it. It's Thursday night or something. It's not a networking club. I want to have successful-minded people that are entrepreneurs, people that are business owners or in the business world that are motivated and hungry to be better. And where we can just play golf, have drinks for a couple hours. We can talk about some stuff that's going on. And well, hey, you guys are maybe doing another podcast. You're looking for this type of person. Well, let's introduce him to Aaron. that'd be great for you guys to meet, that kind of thing. So it's like, you don't know about opportunities if you don't get everyone in the room together.
Oh yeah.
And so it's not like you have to come and you have to give a referral. No.
Yeah.
This is a men's club that we're going to do for like-minded guys that are successful and want to be better men and be better businessmen, and that we can find ways also to work together and be more successful. So I'm working on that. Also working on for the gym. The goal is to open another gym in a year or two. So I'm meeting with, I've been in talks with some investors for doing down in Florida. So I'm looking at a couple spots down there.
Nice.
I've also, a good friend of mine since fifth grade, Nick Riles, that owned Empire Barbell and sold it recently. He's a member of my gym. Great guy. We're looking at some locations in Columbia. I don't want to say where yet.
Okay.
But we're also working on a partnership with Nick Riles and a guy by the name of Jason Garner, who owns Garner Fit, where I would still personal train some clients. Unfortunately, I'm getting kind of full with my schedule.
Yeah.
There's only so much time of the day. But he would outsource my personal training for me. All the trainers are licensed nutritionist. The proven track record. He's sponsored by a supplement company, so he gets deep discounts on that. We can pass it on to any of our clients at the gym and personal training clients. I think he might be sponsored by First Form. I could be wrong, but I think it's First Form.
Nice.
And we're also partnering with massage therapists, PT, chiropractor, and med spa. So we can offer the peptides, the TRT, stuff like that. So our goal is to make this into what they used to do back in the 80s and 90s when you had the health spa.
Yeah.
The whole fitness club, spa, med spa, all that. And we're going to add a sauna to the gym. We're going to add the cold room. So I want to make it a whole fitness club health spa all in one. We can offer everything. No one else is doing it. And that's our goal here. So we're negotiating kind of right now over those terms. Everything's going well so far. So I'm confident that we're gonna put this together. And it's gonna really benefit any of the members of the gym, and also anyone who's an existing member like you, Renee. They also have their own brick and mortar recovery room, red light therapy, all that. So anyone who's a member of Club Fitness gets a discount on that as well. Stretch zone, we got all kinds of stuff that we're bringing. I'm working right now with D Hall Supermodel for doing the clothing brand. We sold out at the private opening, the grand opening. We've got a lot of really cool designs that we're working on right now. We're going to do the same tank top from the 50 Cents in the club video that he wore. We're doing that same type with the Club Fitness branding on it.
Yeah.
So we got some really cool clothing line stuff coming out. We're going to promote as well. We'll have another photo shoot with me and Dee and some other fitness influencers, guys, girls. So we'll have that coming out. When he comes in town, I want to introduce you guys to him. Maybe we can do another podcast. You guys will really like Dee, man. He's great.
Yes,
He's great. So we got that. We're also working on something with Anchor Links Golf Bar and Lounge.
Okay.
So it's a really nice custom bar and lounge. We've got a lot of sports memorabilia from my stepdad, Scott Johnson. He used to be a club pro at Mid-Carolina. We got some stuff from my younger sister, Adam Feeney, who played softball at USC. And then Scott's son, Dustin Johnson, used to be on the PGA Tour, is now on the Live Tour. We've got a ton of his sports memorabilia stuff, tournaments and his clubs and TaylorMade rep there. And then we've got a lot of other cool stuff from Wayne Gretzky and other athletes and pictures and stuff from the Masters. So we want to start selling merchandise there and turn Anchor Links Golf Club into an actual club, like the Players Club downtown. I met with those guys, great guys at the Middleton Group that owns the Players Club. And so we want to make it to where you pay X amount per month and you can come golf between these certain times as much as you want. And then it's still open for lunchtime, evenings, parties kind of thing. So working on that, and that'll be a continued discount for any Club Fitness members on the golf and the bowling. So those are some of the things we're working on now. So I got a lot of things, and I'm continually with the gym. I'm getting in the new private locker, so you can get your own locker if you want. I'm just added a sound system. I'm adding more TVs. I'm adding more mirrors. A guy by the name of Charlie Stevens, he has a great company where he does a lot of high-end remodeling for homes and businesses. across the country, really. So he's going to do this special paint on my walls in the locker rooms and in front of the cardio, where you paint it and it looks like a mirror, so you can see your reflection.
Shit.
So it's just really cool. He's a training client of
Yeah.
mine. I train him. Him and his girlfriend are members at Club Fitness. He's a great guy. So we're doing some really cool stuff. I'm going to expand the outside of the gym, make it bigger.
Oh, nice.
Add more equipment inside and out. Look for more novelty pieces. Exchange some stuff. Eventually, want to add the sauna. Want to add the cold room, and then I want to make the outside area bigger, make it inside, and put the outdoor training area on the second story. So it's like a balcony.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
sweet.
so I've got a vision. I just still want to make it better and better. And my whole goal with the gym, it's been a passion project. It's been a dream of mine since I was a teenager. And I've always wanted to do it. And now I'm finally able to do it. And my goal was also to provide an experience in the type of gym that the gym goer really wants. My first question is, how is this going to benefit the members of my gym? And, because this is a club, we call it the club. So how can I make it to where the gym goer loves it, where it's designed right, where you got the right equipment, you got all the cool stuff. And so I'm making it for the gym goer instead of just a gym to where we can get as many members and make as much money as possible, which is fine. You got a business, but I'm trying to do something special that's unique. And I've had a lot of people, whether they're professional bodybuilders or not, that are members of my gym that say, I can tell you made this gym for the gym goer.
Oh, yeah.
And that we love this, man. This is no other gym like it in Columbia. And I'm like, man, that is awesome. Because that's what I was trying to do, and I've done it, and now I'm just trying to make it even better. And it's my baby, so it's just a work in progress.
Doing a hell of a job, Adam.
Thank you, man. I
Man,
appreciate
with
it.
so many things going on in your life, we appreciate you taking the time to come
sir.
talk with us. Hopefully, maybe down the road we can film another episode once you.
Let's
got,
do it.
Yeah, you got more of these things rolling, and we really appreciate you coming on the show,
Sir,
Adam.
thanks for having
Yep.
me.
Thank you,
Appreciate it, guys.
Oh man, thank you so
Good
much.
time.